and I am a palm reading expert and love compatibility coach. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're out there in the live stream today, feel free to just type something in the chat and let me know that you're here today. And today's topic is one I had to think about what I wanted to talk about because I know everybody's going through a lot of stress right now. And I feel like we're being bombarded with so much information, and we don't know what's right and what's not right, and what's the best thing to do, what's not the best thing to do. And there's a lot of stress in the world right now, and I definitely can feel that as well. And I wanted to take you through today to just helping you get through difficult times. And when we struggle with making decisions, and if we struggle in making the right decisions, this can be really difficult. So I am going to teach you today a little bit about intuition and what is intuition, and how do we know if we're really intuitive or not, right? How do we know? Well, guess what? It's in your hands, and you can actually identify your own intuitive abilities, and you can also develop them. And I'm going to take you through a process today to clear your mind, clear your energy, and get you so that you are in a space to actually make confident decisions for yourself. So if that sounds interesting to you, then I'm very happy that you're here. So first of all, what is intuition? Okay, intuition is that inner voice, right? It's that inner knowing. When we feel like it can help us warn us of danger. It can help. It's sort of like a radar, right? It's that little antenna that goes up, and we have this inner gut feeling, right? It's that gut check, and sometimes our gut check is very accurate, and it can guide us actually in keeping us from making a mistake or having some sort of problem. It can also help us in just understanding events that are going on around us, right? Which is what we're all having to deal with right now. So I would encourage everyone out there to really tap into their own intuition and start to question information that is being thrown at them, that there's the little radar, look at what's, and I'm not going to go into all the political stuff about the world right now because I don't feel like that is helpful. But what I want you to do is just start to be able to make accurate decisions for yourself and use common sense and, be practical. Okay, so that's what I'm asking for you guys and what I want for you. Okay, so how do we know if we're even listening to that inner voice? Okay, well, there is a way to tell that in the hands. I'm going to start with that actually. It's called our Mercury Line, and it's located underneath our Mercury finger, which is our little finger. Okay, now, by the way, this is a minor line in the hands, which means that not everybody is going to have this line. But if you do, and if you listen very carefully to it, you will have a clear line coming down from your little finger, and it's going to run all the way down the hand towards the center part of your palm. That is your Mercury line. And when it's clear and strong, it shows that you're really listening to that intuition. Okay. By the way, you may have a strong Mercury line on one hand versus another, and that could show, especially if it's showing up on your passive hand, that could show a potential for you to develop even more. A lot of times, though, we will see it broken up, and that's showing that you're just not paying attention. Okay, so there's something getting mixed up. And this often will show up when we either change our mind a lot or we listen and then we don't listen. Okay, so that's something to pay attention to. Occasionally, this line will also curve, and it will look like a little bow in the hand. Okay, we call this the bow of intuition, is a common term for it. Or I would actually still call this the Mercury Line, but it's just a variation of the Mercury Line. So sometimes it will curve just like from again the Mercury finger, the little finger, and it will come into the palm, and then it will come down towards the bottom part of the hand, opposite the thumb. Okay, so if you have that, that's definitely an intuition marker. So take a look if you've got one of those in your hands. Okay. The next thing I want to point out is a section of the hand we call Luna. And Luna happens to be where a lot of intuition markers actually show up. So we have something called the Star of Luna. And the Star of Luna will show up right around here. It could vary though. It could show up a little higher. It could be anywhere really inside the mount of Luna. So I'm going to kind of try and show you here in a picture. And if you're just listening later on to the podcast, it's the bottom part of your hand, opposite the thumb. It's the far side of the hand. Basically, the least accessible part of your hand is Luna. And so if we have a star in this section, that represents like a burst of intuition. It represents a lot of times when we have epiphanies or, sudden understanding, sudden knowing, and we just, boom, it just comes in. Okay, so that star can be definitely something to pay attention to if you have one, because that's how you're going to get your insights. Okay, so another way it can show up also inside of Luna, we could have any number of palmar prints. So a palmar print is just like a fingerprint pattern, except it is located in the palm. That's why it's called a palmar print. It is permanent and it is unchangeable. So if you have this, it's actually going to come in before you're even born, and it's never going to change. Whereas a star, and like the Star of Luna that we just talked about, and the Mercury line, those lines change. Okay, so if you were born with this intuition, it might show up in a couple of different ways. And one way would be what we call the loop of intuition. Okay, and it would look like a loop coming into your mount of Luna. Okay, oftentimes it the circular part of the loop will be on the inside, kind of facing down, usually coming off of the headline. So the headline is the line that goes straight across the hand. Usually it's off of there. And occasionally it will also show up as a whirl. So instead of being a loop, it'll actually be circular all the way around, sort of like a little hurricane, right? So sometimes you'll see a little whirl, a little circle. And that is definitely an intuition marker. I've seen this on a lot of psychic friends of mine. Another way it can show up is what we call the loop of mystery, which is going to be opening up to what we call the percussion, so the edge of the hand, and it's going to loop in and then come back out to the edge of the hand. It's going to be very, very low on the palm, almost to the what we call the rascets, which are the wrist lines of the hand. Okay, so very low. We call that the loop of mystery, somebody who can tap into the deeper secrets of the world, and they're going to be very curious about how the world works and what is actually going on. Okay, so if you have that marker, investigate the deep mysteries. Another variation of this is what we call the loop of nature, and it's going to be up much higher. Okay, so higher up in that Luna mount, but as otherwise it looks exactly like a loop of mystery. And this loop of nature is going to be someone who connects to, you can think of like the earth element. Okay, so somebody who connects to the earth energy, possibly with crystals and, things of the earth. Could also include plants and animals. Somebody who might be very sensitive to plants and animals and what's going on with them. So you'll often see that on people who become animal communicators or, botanists and things like that. Also, we would want to take a look. There's a special variation. I can't really draw it on the hand, so I'm just going to kind of describe it. It's on your fingertips, and we call these water droplets, and they will show up as, when you look at the fingers, they have this like little extra sort of bulge to them, and that adds an extra sensitivity as well. So that's an intuitive ability that can show up. Okay, so these are all indicators that you can see and recognize different types of intuition. It's actually pretty amazing that your hands tell you all these things, isn't it? So that's something I love about palm reading, is it tells us so much if we just know what to look for. So I want to help you tune into your higher self, your higher guidance. When we do this, we can actually connect to this intuitive side of ourselves, and we can make better decisions for ourselves. We can be more confident in our decision making. And I definitely want this for everyone who may be struggling right now or redirecting their business. There's so much going on right now. It's just very, very strange times that we're in right now. Okay, but ultimately, I want you to focus on you and what can you do as an individual, because we do have power beyond what we even know. And we can certainly make everything better for not only ourselves, but for the planet and the people around us as well, based upon our own individual actions. And I want you to come from not a place of fear, not a place of worry, not a place of stress, because that's when we actually make poor decisions. That's when we screw it up and then we regret it later, right? We have to be in that clear, calm space. And that's the way we find our truth. And that frees us from that fear energy. Okay, so I want everybody to do this with me. If you're interested, it's going to be really fun. We're going to tap into the energy of the High Priestess, which is an archetype that connects us to our intuitive selves. Okay, so we do this using our hands and we go into a mudra. So what I want you to do is put your index fingers together, have them touch each other. And then I want you to bring your fingers, your middle finger, your ring finger, and your little finger. I want you to bend them over at the first phalange. And so they're all kind of touching each other like this. Okay, so they're all just kind of curled over. And we're pointing with our index fingers. And our thumbs, which represent our willpower, we want them to be pointing outward. Okay, so this is the mudra of the High Priestess. And so I want you to get into this position. I want you to place your hands at the level of your heart, because we're trying to tap into our heart energy. And I want you to take a deep breath in. Now, the breath is super important when we can tune inward, and we need to start with the breath because that's going to open up our connection. Okay, so I want everybody to take a deep breath in and a deep exhale. And I want you to start thinking about exhaling the worry, fear, and doubt. Okay, so on every inhale, think about bringing in the fresh energy, and we're going to call in the archetype of the High Priestess. And I call in and welcome the energy of the High Priestess to assist us in making confident decisions for ourselves and for our highest good. And just breathe in the truth of that and inhale that in. Hold it at the top and really feel that energy coming in, and then exhale all fear, doubt, and worry. Exhale that out through the breath to be recycled for the planet. And now I want you to think about something that you're struggling with in terms of making a decision. What is it that you're worried about? What is it that you're afraid of? There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. So it's like, what is it that you want to know more about that maybe your higher self can help you with? I want you to think about that question right now. And we're going to inhale in and exhale out, just like we were doing before. And I want you to think about that question. And then we're just going to listen. Your information may come to you in a picture. It may come to you in a thought, a knowingness, a feeling. It can come to you in a lot of different ways. So I just want you to tune in. What is it you want to know more about? And continue to breathe. And notice what's going on with your body too. Notice where you may feel some discomfort or stress. You can go ahead and bring your attention to those areas and just be okay with them. Bring love to them. Remember that you are love. I am love. We're connecting to that loving energy right now. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and release the mudra. Wiggle the fingers, do all that good stuff. But I hope you noticed how nice that feels when you do that, and how great it can be when you're struggling with any kind of decision and you're just not sure what to do. This will immediately align your energy and help you to get to that answer that you need to hear. And it doesn't have to be a difficult process, but we do need to do this regularly. I would recommend doing this regularly because it can just help you to keep your aura clear, keep your energy clear. We do sometimes get enmeshed and entangled in all this stuff around us, and we want to make sure that we're keeping ourselves strong, not just our physical bodies, but our mental bodies, our emotional bodies, and our spiritual bodies. And all of these things play out in our day-to-day. So I hope this was an interesting live stream. And I hope you feel a lot more confident now. And if you didn't get the answer, just stay in that mudra until you do get the answer. And you can even do a whole long meditation with it. I just wanted to guide you through a short one today. But you can do this on your own, and I guarantee it will help you the more that you practice it. So I'm Cynthia Clark, and I'm with loveinyourhands.com. And if you want to go ahead and try aligning with your soulmate, I've started a 5-day challenge to do just that, where you can actually do some really cool exercises with me And I take you through a 5-day challenge. It's totally free and it's really fun. And I can help you to actually attract your soulmate using all sorts of amazing processes that can guide you. So, thank you so much for joining me today. And I look forward to connecting with you again next week. I know I was a little late on this week's live stream because I just had so much going on this week that I couldn't do it. But I appreciate you. I love you all. And I really hope that you feel inspired to tap into that love energy that's right there within you. So thank you so much and have a wonderful day.